what time it is.
It might seem crazy what I'm about to say. Sunshine, she's here, you can take a break. Hot air balloon that could go to space.
Do you like my party sounds?
With the air, like I don't care, baby, by the way. Because I'm happy. Clap along.
So welcome back for another edition of Alive to Thrive. For today's talk, what you're going to need is you're going to need some supplies for this. All right, so you are going to need a piece of paper and pencil or a pen or crayon or whatever you have to write with. So go and get that right now and then come back and I'll wait right here. All right.
Well, give me all you got and don't hold it back. Well, I should probably warn you, I'll be just fine.
Well, welcome back. And so today, I just felt it was really important to discuss just the foundations of what it means to be alive to thrive, and even more what it means to live brave and not broken, and really what this whole movement is about. I remember about, 4 years ago now, I went to a conference and it was for some justice issues. And I remember the speaker being up there, and what they said was really pivotal for me at that time in my life, and really kind of laid a groundwork of how I believe that life should be lived. And basically what he said was that the purpose of being human was to flourish. And I thought, oh, I love that word. What does flourish mean? And flourish means to prosper, to grow, to thrive. And he went on to say that that was really God's intention when he put us here, was that we would be able to flourish in all of our humanness. And that just rocked my world. I didn't know how impactful that would be until I began this whole spiritual journey that I'll talk about in just a little bit. But what I started to think about was so many times in our society and our culture, in our religious belief systems, whatever it is, we have this thing that what we're looking forward to is something after life here. We have given importance to getting to some place instead of really embracing life here right now in what God intended us for in the first place. Now I totally understand that life gets in the way, and none of us are immune to it. There are challenges. No one has said that this life here was going to be easy. And so we come up on our journey against obstacles that would basically want to break us. And how do we do life when we're hit with challenges with relationships, marriage, parenting, with our finances, with our spiritual walks, with our health and well-being? How do you actually learn to flourish and live your life when you've been hit by different obstacles and different challenges? How do we live brave and not broken and embrace our right to be alive to thrive? I know that there are many of you out there that have faced really hard things. And, as have I. If I'm to look back, and really the past 6 years have been just this huge paradigm of journey of just growing spiritually and really finding my place here. And so I get it, 6 years ago, I almost lost my marriage. I mean, basically, we were calling it quits. And at that point, we had been married for 16 years. And then our son was in a horrific car accident. Our daughter, in her junior year of high school, was bullied and then assaulted. And then finally, the icing on the cake was me being diagnosed with cancer in 2012. So yeah, I get it. You know what? There's a lot of crap that happens on this journey called life. But Mark Nepo, who is a philosopher and a poet and has become one of my biggest spiritual teachers in the past, I would just say 6 months, he says this: to be broken is no reason to see all things as broken. So we can't, in our broken places, allow us to view life as a broken place. I hear so many people, and I have been one in the past, that has said, oh, we live in such a broken world. Yeah, no, we don't. We may come up against things that are broken in our society, in our culture, through injustices around the world, but that doesn't make our world broken. If I were to live with that mindset that our world is broken, then you know what? I would wipe my hands clean of ever wanting to try and get healed and fighting cancer and just say forget it, because life here on earth, as I know it, is just not worth it. It's broken and I want to be somewhere else. So it's what we do then when we question God's purpose in putting us here. If His intention and purpose is for us to flourish and to thrive, then we have to some way get to the point where we actually believe it. And there is a way to do it, because I fully believe that my life here counts. And I'm doing whatever I can with the time that I have to live my life fully and purposefully. With cancer, without cancer, broken, not broken. I'm choosing just to live the bravest life that I know how possible. So how do we live brave and not broken? There are 3 ways that I have come up with for us to live a brave and not a broken life. Number 1 is you need to accept the brokenness. Let me say it again. The first thing you have to do is you have to accept the brokenness. Every obstacle, every challenge, everything that breaks us open, breaks us open for a reason. And when you are broken open, you control what you are being broken open to. So, for example, being diagnosed with cancer, that breaks you open to a whole new way of thinking. And I have a choice at that time. Am I going to allow the cancer to put back into me bitterness, unforgiveness, resentment, anger? Or is the cancer just kind of a threshold to open me up for more compassion and mercy and understanding and the ability to live my life and to flourish? So accept the places that break you open, but also be cognizant of what you are being broken open to. Number 2, you have to live brave and you have to look beyond the brokenness. So again, to be broken is not to see all things as broken. It's vital for all of us to know that not all of life is where you are. And how do you embrace that? you get out into the world. You look at the flowers, you look at the trees, you go on a walk, you listen to children laugh, you go to places and you experience things where life abounds. Where does life abound for you? Maybe it's walking down by the ocean. Maybe it's walking in the forest. But being able to see life everywhere is pivotal in moving through your broken place and seeing the bigger picture, because there's a whole world out there that needs you. And finally, something practical is being able to cultivate gratitude. Now, to me, this is probably the number one thing that everybody needs to do, is to cultivate an attitude of gratitude. And I know for some it's like, oh, I have nothing to be thankful for. Everybody has something to be thankful for. Everybody. There is one thing that you can be thankful for, and that is you get to breathe. That is just a gift in and of itself. When you cultivate a life of gratitude on a daily basis, amazing things begin to happen. All of a sudden, you find that you are more peaceful, you're more accepting, you're more compassionate, you're more understanding, and the things that you have longed for all of a sudden just start showing up. So you can call it sowing and reaping. You can call it the law of attraction. You can call it whatever you want it to be called, but it's all the same. And it's just the spiritual truth that you get back what you give out. In 2014, this year, I decided that I was going to be very, very intentional about cultivating gratitude in my life. And so every day since January, I have been daily, I write down 3 to 5 things that I am grateful for. And at the beginning, it's kind of hard. You're like thinking, okay, what am I thankful for? Just put anything down. It can be, I am thankful that a butterfly just flew in front of me. Or I am thankful that I found a pen that has ink in it that I can write with. I mean, as absurd as it sounds, the thing is to get stuff down with an attitude of gratitude. Whether you feel it or not, it's a discipline, it's a purpose. You cannot always live by your feelings. You need to move and push past that. Now, I'm not telling you to be thankful for the hard things. Okay, you can do that if you want, but when you are in a financial crisis and you can't pay your bills, it's hard to be thankful in that place. But, however, you can be thankful that you still have food on your table, you have a roof over your head, and that gas in your car. For me, when dealing and living with this diagnosis, for me, sometimes it is just, you know what? I'm so thankful that I have my hair back, that I was able to get out of bed today and walk into my kitchen and pour myself a cup of coffee. Really, it's just those things just become such a place for me to extend gratitude. And what happens is when you start to do this, you will look for things in your daily life that you can be thankful for. You really will. And you'll look for opportunities that you can extend gratitude back. So that is an intentional practice that I want to challenge all of you to start doing. And that's why I've asked you to get your piece of paper and a pen. And for the next 3 minutes, all I want you to do is I want you to write down 3 to 5 things that at this time, today, right now, you are thankful for. Morning, and let me share mine. Number one, I am grateful for my art studio because I get to film Alive to Thrive in here. Yeah. Number two, I'm grateful for prayer and meditation at 5 a.m. with my husband. Yes, every day for about a month now, we are up at 5 a.m. and we spend a half an hour before he goes to work in prayer and meditation, and it's been glorious. And number three, I am grateful for early morning texts from my friends who say, I love you. So I'd love to know what three things you are grateful for on this Friday morning. Please leave me a comment down below. Would love to celebrate those places of thankfulness with you. If you're finding that today is really kind of a hard day, I encourage you to take this list, to fold it up, and to carry it around with you wherever you go, so that when challenges come up, you can open that list right back up and remind yourself of the things that you are grateful for today. So that's all I have for you guys today. I am so thankful that you spent part of your Friday morning with me. I want to say that I'm sorry that I rambled for a long time, but I really believe that what I had to share today had some really good juice on it. And if you know somebody that needs to hear what I had to share, would you mind sharing it with them, whether it's via email, post it on Twitter, your Facebook page, whatever it is, so that we can get the message out of what it means to live a brave and not broken life, and what it means to be alive to thrive, and how we are all as human beings called to flourish. That is pretty cool. Today's inspirational thought will be our Live Brave manifesto, written by our own Live Brave writer, Cindy Powell, and I have put it in ebook form. So in order to get your hands on that ebook, all you have to do is subscribe to our newsletter. Again, the link will be down below, and I will be sure to get that ebook to you right away. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you next week. All right, don't forget, it's your right to be alive to thrive. Have a good one. Bye.
I see your beauty in the rain. I feel your spirit